Greetings from the wonderful world of RecWatch, where we get up close and personal with the secrets of the deep. This is 7 Seas News, your one-stop porthole into the latest beneath the waves. Hello everyone, I'm Sean Kingsley and I'm on late night Titanic watch for RecWatch TV. Now in the last couple of hours there's been some developments in the case of the missing Titan submersible owned by OceanGate over the wreck of the Titanic. There's been press calls run by the United States Coast Guard, led by Captain Jamie Frederick, and also by Horizon Maritime. Now they own the supply vessel, the Polar Prince, that was launching the sub down onto the Titanic when it disappeared. And the Coast Guard have been emphasizing that, of course, they've been working tirelessly around the clock to bring all assets to bear to the rescue. They say it's incredibly complex and very hard to mobilize equipment easily, which of course is quite right. By tomorrow, there'll be 10 surface assets on the site above Titanic. And we assume that they mean research ships by that. And at this point, the search area has been expanded to the size of twice the magnitude of Connecticut. And there are 3 pieces of news that have come out of the press calls tonight. Firstly, an aircraft did spot some debris around the area, but it was investigated and found not to be from Titan. And then we got the second issue, which are these enigmatic banging sounds that have been found, or heard rather, coming from the seabed. And it's reported that those were heard yesterday and also again this morning. And the Coast Guard has confirmed that they were heard again, but they would not confirm that they came to light every 30 minutes. There was an emphasis the acoustic data has been sent to the best experts in the world, and in their opinion, what they're hearing is inconclusive, but nothing will be ignored. You know, this is interesting because you would assume that the noise coming from being hit on the side of a titanium hull is very different from the drawn out noises of nature on a shipwreck or from marine life. What we can say at RecWatch is that well-placed sources are telling us that the sounds equate to Morse code being tapped out. So we're hearing that this is actually man-made noise that equates to Morse code. And of course, Paul-Henri Nargeolet is in that submersible. He is ex-Navy, and of course, thus he would be well experienced with Morse code, and this is exactly the kind of thing you would expect someone of his caliber to be trying to communicate to the outside world. And if that's right, and if that's correct, that would tell us that the individuals on the Titan submersible at that point were still alive with airflow, and that Titan did not suffer a catastrophic failure through the implosion of the pressure, which we think is probably unlikely because there have been some problems with this submersible in the past, but leaking hulls has not been one of it. We would have heard about it. And then thirdly, a big question people have been asking us and sending us questions: is the equipment on site the right kit? And this brings us to the question of ROVs, remotely operated vehicles. And these are unmanned robots that can be flown to the seabed with a fiber optic cable attached to it, which sends all kinds of communications up to the research ship, where expert technicians fly it with a joystick. And they can watch the seabed, observe it through live camera feeds. And crucially, ROVs have manipulator arms with the capability to attach a cable to a ship and recover it. Now, as far as I understand, the ROVs that are on site right now are incapable of reaching the seabed. So they have been unable to look at what's going on the wreckage and whether Titan is actually on the seabed or has been entangled in wreckage debris, which again I think is unlikely because P.H. Nargeolet I think he's dived Titanic more than anyone in the world, and if anyone knows his way around that side, that would be him. So, you know, you might say that the kit that's down there right now could be improved, and it's kind of like playing basketball with a toothpick or trying to thread a needle with cotton wool. You know, trying to do something that doesn't really work. It's not fit for the purpose. It's not designed to do that. Meanwhile, the French Research Institute for Exploration of the Sea has dispatched another ROV called Victor to the site. That is capable of going down to 6,000 meters and has 8 kilometers of power cable, 2 video cameras, and importantly, it has those manipulator arms whereby if it did find Titan, it could make an attempt to rig it up for a recovery effort. And Horizon Maritime have confirmed that equipment has been mobilized and it has gone through the port of St. John and is steaming towards the site right now. Meanwhile, of course, on tarmac in an airport around the world, off England in the Channel Islands, Magellan and Ocean Infinity, their ROVs were offered for help, but they were stood down. And I'm told or informed that the French just went off their own bat and said, no, we're going because it's the right thing to do. So good for them. Of course, it's very easy to make these comments, but the fact of the matter is it really is extremely difficult to get the right equipment to the middle of nowhere in the Atlantic Ocean. You need the right technology to be available. You need to be able to get it in incredibly cumbersome and heavy equipment. Then you need to get it on absolutely the right research. Not every vessel will work. You need the right kind of weight of capacity of crane to be able to put the ROV over the side. And the equipment to actually be able to monitor and operate it. No easy thing. And then, of course, now you've got all kinds of vessels in the sea. You've got 10 research ships scouting around the surface of the sea, and that takes some skill as well to kind of plot the navigation and make sure that nobody trips over everyone else's feet. So, you know, tomorrow is a crucial day. And all hope really rests in the robotic arms of ROV Victor. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be V for Victor Day, and everyone at RecWatch, we send our hopes and prayers to the families and to the rescue teams, and for now, deep down we care.